Hi and welcome to SCW, the wrestling channel here on YouTube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Please subscribe right now. Leave any comments in the comment section. Please like and share the video as well. Going to be talking Impact Wrestling, and a lot of buzz has come this week in the wrestling community. Of course, Impact threw out their Slammiversary advert, which I believe is on July the 18th this year. And they had a guy standing on a podium and telling about how many wrestlers have been released during the pandemic and could they be on their way to Impact Wrestling. There was a massive tease. We saw a lot of faces in the video, including the Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows. We saw the likes of Drake Maverick. We saw EC3, Mike Bennett, Eric Young, among a few others as well. And we even saw a Bulgarian flag, which of course is pointing to Rusev. So are all these people coming to Impact Wrestling? I'm going to give you my view today of the people that I think that will be coming to Impact, because there's a lot of rumours going around. And the belief is that WWF have offered some deals to some of the released talent, hoping that they would re-sign with the company. But according to Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer newsletter and F4W Online, he has turned around and said that he believes that those deals are small fees in compared to what they had previously. So there is actually a chance that some of these people may actually sign with Impact Wrestling. So, well, we can say immediately that we can roll out Drake Maverick after NXT this week. He is re-signed with WWE and it's been made clear on television. Kurt Angle is another one expected to re-sign with WWE. He's been offered a deal, and the belief is that WWE don't want Kurt Angle going anywhere else, particularly AEW. So we look at Impact Wrestling and what are the likely ones. I'm going to tell you, rather than go through all the names, I'm going to give you my most likely ones here that I think are possible. I think we've got some ex-Impact Wrestling superstars that I think would be on their way back. I could see Eric Young coming back. He, of course, has spent many years in Impact Wrestling. I can see EC3 potentially being one of them coming back. I definitely can see Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis coming back as well. I think that those, if you were to ask me, those I feel are the most strongest likely candidates to come back. And I have a storyline idea, a fantasy booking idea, so stick with me in the video and we will come back to that very shortly. Other names that I do think are potential, I think Rowan is someone that could be really of use to Impact Wrestling. He's a big guy, he stands out. He was doing some good work in WWE actually. I mean, he's been someone that's always been taken as a follower, but when he went on his own, he was doing some good stuff. His rivalry with Roman Reigns in his matches were actually on point. If you can put the character work, develop it together and make this guy into some sort of main eventer, he could be creditable. It could work. So I think he's a potential that could come. I do remember seeing a Brody Lee interview recently. I can't remember if it was with What Culture or Wrestle Talk. It was one of those. And actually Brody Lee suggested that there was a chance that Roman could be coming to Japan. As well as that, Carl Anderson has said that he would most likely be going back to Japan, or it seemed to be teased in his video when he left WWE. So maybe him and Gallows could be going to Japan, but I do wonder if they're going to have a short-term future in Impact Wrestling, just until the pandemic calms down, because there's no shows going on in Japan right now. So that's what makes me think that maybe some of these guys could come in on the short term. Could you imagine Anderson and Gallows against the North? What a great tag team championship match you could have there. I do believe that the Impact Wrestling tag team division has strength, but I think would actually really benefit from having such a creditable duo as Anderson and Gallows were among their ranks. I think that it certainly would get people talking and would bring eyes to the Impact product. I will quickly talk about Zack Ryder and Rusev as well. I do believe Zack Ryder is AEW bound. If he's going to be going anywhere, that's where I can see him. As for Rusev, I would love to see him in Impact Wrestling. I'm not sure we're going to see it happen, but I'd love to see Rusev versus Elgin. I think Rusev, if he was to come in, he genuinely would be the face of Impact Wrestling. He would be a main eventer and top of the card, but I'm unsure, like Zack Ryder, if these guys will end up in Impact Wrestling. It's just a bit of a reservation I have, but of course I would be very happy to see either of them there. One more name that I want to throw out there is Lio Rush. Now, I have seen some multiple dirt sheets that Lio Rush has actually suggested he may not even wrestle again, but I do think he would be absolutely mind-blowing for the X Division, and I think that he's a name that could be brought in, but the X Division, like the women's division right now, is absolutely stacked. I mean, remember, Impact has already brought in Deonna Purrazzo, and we could even see a couple of NXT releases come in as well, so there is always opportunities out there for a lot of superstars to come in. But I'm going to stick my neck out and say that I believe that it'll be Mike and Maria. So we've got Bennett and Kanellis, depending on what surname they're going to be going with. I think Eric Young, and I will say EC3 will return home back to Impact Wrestling. They have all been in the main event. They all would add value to the top end of the card, and I think they should come in, particularly if we can get this TNA World Heavyweight Championship up and running again with Moose. He seems to be trying to get it off the ground, and we see Impact Wrestling are kind of dismissing it. It's a title that doesn't exist anymore, and the brand is coming back. The brand is being popular. It's proving that Access want more of it. So I think it's time that Moose actually aligns himself and brings back some TNA superstars. Perhaps you could say maybe like an original in Eric Young, but certainly some TNA stars of over the last 10 years to come back and actually take on the Impact roster. It can almost be like your modernization of an NWO style takeover, and I think that it would be a fun way to see that happen. It would even be fun to see happen if all the released superstars were one group, almost like a Nexus. That would be interesting as well to see if that could take place. But it's exciting, it's food for thought, and it's definitely got me hyped for Slammiversary. I don't know what your thoughts are for Slammiversary, but do let me know in the comments below. Which superstars do you think they will be signing from the released WWE batch? And of course, there are a lot of free agents out there at the moment. It would be interesting to see. I mean, remember, Tasha Steele was coming, who was recently with NWA. So is there more talent that could come from other places that they could bring in? It feels like Impact at the moment, they've got a market that they want to bring some stars in. And I think right now, it's a good time to do so. I mean, if I look at their main event of the card, I do feel that it's probably the weakest Impact has been for a little while. They seem to be very good on the undercard, but they just need a little bit more on that top end of the card. And I do think with the likes of Eric Young, EC3 and Mike Bennett, that it would add definitely some depth towards that top end of the card. But that's all from me on this particular video anyway. I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure to keep an eye out. NXT predictions will be coming out, and also check out the Hard Hitting Wrestling show as well on their website and also on their YouTube channel. You can find that I did an interview with them this week. We're talking NXT, we're talking WWE, so go and check them out. Really good stuff. They're a great channel, and yeah, they deserve a lot of support from the wrestling community. So if you've got a spare bit of time, go and check them out. Really good stuff. And also you can go and check out my interview with them as well. But that's all from me anyway. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time here on youtube.com. And this has been SCW, the Wrestling Channel.